2, 1. Are we live? Is this thing on? Okay, I just have one thing to say to the Bengal Raiders, the Bayou Bengal Raiders.
What's up? What's up?
What's up, guys? How you guys doing? That is the keyword for tonight's giveaway. We are joined by a very fantastic special guest, one of my favorite guests, one of our most popular informative streams. This is the runner-up from the Drafters $1,000,002, and that wasn't even his first time being the runner-up. This guy's placing the money time and time again. He is literally one of the best drafters on the planet, period. Doesn't matter what platform. Everybody, please welcome my good friend Updog to the show. And we've queued up, by the way. We're queued up at the Drafters 2.5 million. So get your asses in here. Let's go.
Yo, what up, everybody? What's up, Disco?
What's up, buddy? So Todd Gurley jersey, eh? Little Rams action. That's from St. Louis. That's not even the LA Rams. That's the St. Louis Rams.
Well, it's before they went to that like cool retro jersy. It was the one
Gotcha.
they had before that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, he so that year I had him in my home league. This is like pre me playing best ball. And I took David Johnson at the 101, who got hurt in like the first game. And then I double tapped Lenny Fournette, Todd Gurley at the 2-3 and won the league.
What was it? Standard? Was it PPR? Half PPR? What was it?
Yeah, it's full PPR, but
Okay.
just did the Boomer RB start, and it got it done for me, you know. And here I am drafting 0 RB teams on.
Is that foreshadowing as to you changing up your 0 RB strategy?
You know what? I was thinking about doing some RB heavy drafting tonight, actually. So we'll see if it lines up. Yeah.
I just shout out to Bayou Bengal. If you guys are not subscribed to Bayou Bengal, please do so. I like the draft I had in his live stream. I thought it was a very sharp bully tight end approach. I'm the only person who I see pulling off that bully tight end, but every draft style I have, like since that stream, is inspired by like little Easter eggs and tidbits and pieces of information that you gave us.
I saw that team you were working on earlier. It was really nice. Definitely a good squad. I like it.
I think it could finish in the money. I hope it does. I went Brees Hall over AJ Brown there. We are queued up. It is 11 out of 12, so room for one more. We need one more person to hop into the draft, and we're ready to get popping. If you guys have any questions, we'll be addressing every question, every football question in here if you guys have questions, and then we'll also be doing a nice duck race at the end. We'll be quacking it up with all the folks, and we got a lot of people putting in the hashtag WhatsApp to enter. All clear. Not talking to myself. Yo, Dookie, what's up? What's up?
Yo, Dookie, pick up the phone.
Hi. So good. All right, let's check this out. We got Willie 86 at the 102, Snowman 089. Has Snowman entered the giveaway yet? Snowman 089 is here at the 103. Just Joshin, my guy Dan at the 104. Hot Take City at the 105. Updog at the 107. Yours truly at the 108. I feel like we always draft next to each other. Dad at the 111. Mossy made. What up, Mossy? Shout out to Mossy. Hold on. Every time I see Mossy in here, I gotta hit him with one of these. Gotta find him. Disco. What's up, Mossy? Good to see you. All right, boss. You're at 43 drafts so far, okay? When you see yourself at the 107, I'm sure you've had a couple drafts here. What are you looking for? What can we snipe as a community?
107. I mean, this screams Bijan to me. So if he makes it, we're gonna just go high test RB start here. That's the plan.
Man, here's mine. Okay, I'm seeing Bijan go in the top 3 picks and a lot at the 101 a lot lately. What am I missing something? Because I have him as my RB3 this year.
I mean, I haven't done that on drafters. It's something that I'll consider on playoff sites just because I think he has a good playoff schedule, and I just like mixing those guys in like all over the place to get different combos. But here I'm not dragging him up because I won't take him in front of Amon-Ra or J. Jeff, so we'll see, right? If he falls, if he's there, he's there. But you also have to realize like everybody's building him from those slots. So
Gotcha. I
Yeah.
like this comment here. It says, "Disco, your friend looks like
Yeah,
Gardner
I saw
Minshew."
that.
That's a great
What a
compliment.
compliment.
What's up, Hussein? What's up, guys? It's a great compliment. I think he's a handsome fella. And
The
Varane.
mustache is coming in pretty nice these days, though. That's true. Yeah.
All right, another serious question: who's a better QB1, Johnny Utah or Shane Falco? Shane Falco is a choke artist, so I'm going Johnny Utah all day, every day. What about you, up dog?
I don't know who they are.
You don't.
Who's
I will survive scene at the beginning of every one of our streams is from the movie Replacements. You haven't seen the Replacement?
Oh no, I haven't seen that. No.
Okay, stream's over. Bye, guys. I'm kidding.
I got
All
some
right,
homework. I guess it.
I mean, we got to get it on your watch list for sure. Yo Dookie was up. We got all these. Snowman's entered the giveaway. You guys might as well go home.
Yeah. No. Bijan, it is.
Brees, it is. Whatever.
So AJ Brown flipped Brees. Eh? Wow, I didn't realize.
Yeah, he's kind of flipped both of them. No, unless Bijan's jumped ahead. It's nice to see Puka finally going in the second round. I'm seeing that more and more. Never mind. Hold on. I think this guy is in their draft. So we got more disco balls in here. This guy, Jason Calhoun. I think he's here
Yeah,
on
River. Yeah, I've seen his name before. We've drafted together for sure.
So we got 1, 2, 3, 4.
And we got Donkey from Shrek there in the middle of the board. He's a playoff contest winner on Drafters, I believe.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So this is a sharp ass lobby. We got a lot of sharp drafters in here. It should be fun. We'll see if the values fall to us. So you asked me to put CeeDee Lamb this time around on the thumbnail. Obviously, he was the wide receiver one last year, but two-part question here. One, why CeeDee Lamb this year, and where do you have him projected, or how do you think he's going to do this year?
Good. I like him a lot. So basically, at the 101, like I'll just like flip a coin and take CeeDee like half the time. So I want to be overweight CeeDee like relative to McCaffrey, and he was just so good for me last year. He was a guy targeted at the end of the first. And it didn't make a lot of sense that people were taking like Pollard so high off a broken leg, and I feel like that kind of anchored CeeDee a little bit more, and I was able to get like a bunch. He was just a good player, and yeah, I like him a lot. Dallas also did nothing to address their passing game, so like it's the same thing. They're running it back, so I see no reason to really fade the guy. And like Cooks too, Ferg, like they're all so reasonably priced, given what this offense did. So I'm kind of just like taking all the Cowboys. I know you're anti-Cowboy, but I don't really have a reason to I don't know. I'd like to know more why you're fading them actually.
I look at the sample size in terms of how the Cowboys produced last year when they were missing guys like Tyron Smith and Tyler Biadasz. And then if we expanded in a larger, which was absolutely atrocious, they were terrible fantasy football players, terrible on the field as well. It was just bad football in general. And now that both of those guys are playing on new teams, and the players who came in to replace them are less than subpar. I don't think they were ranked high in my offensive line rankings from this draft. I don't see the Cowboys being able to have Dak drop back and throw the amount that he would like to. I think he's going to be running for his life a lot.
Interesting,
The timing throws that him and CeeDee had, like the volume is still going to be there for CeeDee. Don't get me wrong. And there's also the whole red flag situation of CeeDee Lamb having a contract dispute, and if he sits out any amount of time in camp, him and Jamar Chase, I'm out on both of them. And you know me, I've been preaching Jamar Chase no matter what.
Well, you saw the Dak news, right?
What's the Dak news?
Oh, you don't know?
No, tell me.
He's in a walking boot. It's minor ankle injury. We don't. They haven't even
started playing football, and he's already getting his ass kicked.
Yeah, someone has like a picture of him like in like a marina, like walking with a boot on. It's on Twitter. Yeah. But anyway, it's supposed to be fine. But yeah, it's already starting, man. That's it's not good for the Cowboys.
No, that's awful. That's awful. But he's also looking for a contract too. I feel like there's Okay, Mossy asks, "What's up, Mossy?" He says, "Any lean on the wide receiver 3 in Dallas?"
Yeah, no, I don't have one. I mean, I the ship chasing guys were talking up Jalen Brooks the other day. You mentioned him on your stream. Who's apparently his competition, like Tolbert's competition. I just kind of take Tolbert when I need Dallas on the team, but I don't really have a lean. I think Tolbert was actually like kind of okay last year, but it's hard to say. I just draft Cooks a lot. That's honestly what I'm doing. I'm drafting a lot of Cooks.
I know I should be drafting Cooks, but do you ever have this like situation where a player comes up and you just pretend like you don't see him, like he's not there at all?
Yeah, I mean, because Cooks is just like, how many years has he just done the same thing now?
Yeah, it's timeless, and I probably shouldn't be doing that, but I'm also doing that for pretty much all Cowboys players.
I was gonna go high T start, but we're giving me Devontae Smith at the. Okay, I should have given him to you. That would have been the cordial thing to do.
I would have loved it. That would have been spectacular.
I really want to draft more Kyron, so I if he wasn't a big faller there, I was going to take Kyron. Yeah,
I'm not taking Kyron because you would have taken him. I'm taking him because I have Cup, and I don't have any teams with Cup and Kyron on the same squad. So we actually had a question earlier from Jerry Bagshaw. He says, "Do you think Stafford will be healthy all year?"
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to really think he won't be, right? Like, there's the only person I'm really worried about is Tua, but that's you can't predict this stuff, so there's no point worrying about it. He's cheap enough that it's all baked in, so it doesn't matter. Like Puka, like Stafford was a great pick last year, and he's at the same spot in the draft. So, and his weapons are better, so I wouldn't worry about it. I just click him.
Fair enough. Jason Calhoun says, "Watching and not hitting the like button is like going to someone's house for dinner and walking in with muddy shoes." Facts. So many facts that were just spat there. I appreciate you, Jason Calhoun. You're new to the show. You're new to the channel, and you just out here spitting hot fire. You're like Dylon. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so Bye Bangle. Shout out to Bye Bangle. If you're not sub to my guy, fix your life. Seriously, he's spectacular. Dak had a sprained foot when he was on vacation. He's back in the training facility with no foot any longer. Hurt.
All right, nice. There we go. I'm fake news. He's fine.
Yeah, fake news. Hashtag fake news. All right. We'll go Terry McLaurin here. Scary Terry. I like what we're building. I like what we're building a lot. James SEO. Shout out to James SEO. If you're not following my guy, James SEO on X, fix your life. If you're not following my guy, Hot Take City on X, fix your life. Bengals raid for James SEO. Let's go. Love me some Cooks, over 100 targets incoming. It's very possible. It really is very possible. Everybody's going Tolbert and what was the name of the other guy that we were talking about yesterday? What was his name?
Jalen Brooks.
Brooks. Cooks and Brooks. Okay, gotcha.
I think that's his name. Yeah. I think he's does he return punts too? I think so. That is actually kind of interesting.
Well, I mean, like that's why I like Tolbert for his return upside, especially since I'm getting ready for my first Scott Fish Bowl coming up here. That's
what kind of funky rules do they have going on in the Fish Bowl this year?
They're all the funkiest. So like pretty much a kick returner, like so Scott Fish just put out his rankings, and Rashid Shaheed, because he's got kick returner upside, and they're really factoring for kick return upside, like points. Wow. Rashid Shaheed is ranked 5th on the Scott Fish Bowl rankings, which is absolutely insane to me.
Interesting. Okay. So I haven't dialed into what sites actually give us special team scoring, but I know Underdog does not. I think DraftKings does. And I'm not sure about drafters.
Well, if you get into the end zone regardless of how you score, like a kick return,
it counts. That's what I'm saying.
It counts.
But, so on Underdog, I know it doesn't count. I'm not sure as to the specifics on the other sites. DraftKings, I think it has to do with Underdog not actually having defense on their platform at all, whereas DraftKings they do, and then Drafters is in the middle. I'm not sure if we get those points.
Huh. But like I don't think it applies it to like the defense. I think it applies it to the player who actually finds the end zone, because I did get points last year for like Mims when he returned, a punter.
Oh, did you? Okay. Yes. Well, hey. Yes. Then that's honestly something that nobody's talking about this year, and I think is could be a huge thing. Like I haven't watched like these kickoffs or whatever or what they're supposed to be, but it sounds like they're going to increase scoring and yardage by like a crazy amount. Like people, there's going to be shorter fields and there's going to be people scoring touchdowns.
For sure, and like we've been talking about it a lot. Not because of Scott Fish, because I had no idea what the hell Scott Fish was until JC and James SEO told me all about Scott Fish and Greg Kellogg. But I had no idea what the hell it was, right? So I was just looking at it in general. You're on the clock, so
yeah, I don't know what to do. I really want a receiver. Like I should have went Ridley or Johnson, but whatever.
Yeah, I took Ridley. I was looking at it in general, and it looks like something where people are going to be scoring or getting closer to the end zone right away. So in the Scott Fish Bowl, you're getting points for not just return touchdowns, but return yards.
Mm-hmm.
So like a good kick returner gets more points than a quarterback in the Scott Fish Bowl,
wow,
which is pretty interesting, right? But the fact that a lot of players have good return upside here.
I think it matters. I think it's going to matter this year, and nobody's talking about it because everyone's underdog focused, and nobody.
We have been talking about it here.
Yeah, you're the only person I've actually seen talk about it.
Yeah. So I appreciate that. But it's here's what kills me. It's like it's tough to project, especially since people are putting out these lists.
Is it tough to project who gets the returns?
Yeah, it's tough to project who gets the returns because right now Khalil Shakir could very well be the wide receiver 1 for Buffalo, but they have him chalked in as the kick returner there. Rashid Shaheed could very well be the wide receiver 1 or 2. If anything happens to Olave, he becomes a wide receiver 1 there, right? So Rashid Shaheed's also listed there, but I think a lot of scenarios and situations have changed. You can't necessarily look at what happened last year and who was returning last year and be like, oh, this guy's an absolute smash.
Yeah.
But I mean, guys like Dameon Pierce, he returned last year and he was good at returning.
The only guy in my head is like Mims, right? I'm like Mims is going to be returning.
I'm thinking Mims, Tolbert, Pierce. Those are 3 guys I like. If I'm looking at rookies who are coming in, I like Laube. I like Laube a lot. Or
Laube. Interesting.
Yeah, I think he's a good returner. He was a really good returner in college too.
Interesting.
Hot Take says, I appreciate that shout out. Well, we appreciate you, brother. We appreciate you. Back on the clock, Brundo, I will go with.
Yeah, I'm just looking at what Jerry says here. So, isn't there some sort of like penalty for aren't teams incentivized to not boot it out the end zone now? I'm not sure on the new rules.
This is news to me, right? Jerry Backshaw says, and some teams may still choose to kick it out of the end zone. More with the new rules. What are the new rules? Does anybody have the new rules in particular? Let's catch up with the rest of the chat. Mossy says, up dog rep in the Gurley jersey. Love to see it. Love to see it as well. James SEO says, for the Scott Fish Bowl 14, if we use this year's point system, Shaheed would finish around 20. Okay. Al Paul says, Smith mid 3rd round and Hurts is real comfy stack. What's up, Al Paul? That's something Ryan. He finished 14th in the $1,000,002 last year. So shout out to Al Paul. Oh, over the Ryan. There you go. Dan Neely says Shakir is almost not returning kicks this year. I agree 100%.
Yeah, like once you work your way up the pedigree of the receiver, and like they don't want you returning kicks, right? Even Shaheed, I'm like, he's their number 2 and a really good receiver, But at the same time, if it becomes more of the people have basically just the kickoff has been it doesn't matter. Like nobody plans around it anymore because it has 0 impact on the game. So now that it starts having impact on the game, maybe they do want skill position players doing it,
I agree.
So the guys who are good at it might do it regardless. We might even see more guys that are good receivers, play special teams now.
Definitely. Boston Scott for the Rams. Boston Scott's on the Rams. Do they play the Giants this year? I'd love to take the Boston.
You want to know something funny? Boston Scott is the one that cost me my first drafters title or whatever. He the guy who chased me down had Boston Scott and he scored 26 points. Played the Giants in week 17 that year.
That's awful.
We had a pretty similar lineup. We both had Chase or whatever in that big 50-point Chase blow up. But yeah, it was Boston Scott that beat me. It was pretty wild.
This is the second night in a row. It's almost like deja vu where he's easy with the Giants comments. I thought I was having deja vu for a second, but Still just a Giants fan. Man, that's tragic. But can you imagine losing your best ball championship finals because the Buffalo Bills and Cincinnati Bengals didn't play because what's his face almost died. Damar Hamlin almost died.
Yeah, that was something else, man.
A lot of championships were won and a lot of championships were lost. That like the fact that it was the fantasy football playoffs.
It was so sick in best ball too because so many people had that like it was the anchor, like it was a good matchup with two potent offenses. People were like going out of their way to build their teams around it, and then they all got rugged. It was wild, yeah.
Yeah, it was very tragic. And
it just goes to show you how crazy this game is, man. Like that is the craziest thing to happen, maybe ever. Like, and if you're not playing these tournaments, like you don't understand. Like it's just a guy who, the guy almost died. Like that's the headline. But like for us, it was literally the craziest thing happened to decide these tournaments.
100%. And it wasn't just tournaments. It was like all redraft leagues.
The whole fantasy world. Yeah.
And then commissioners and every league is just like, it's just not going to count. It's just not going to count. That's it. Whoever won. And like, I'm sitting here. I got freaking Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs. I got Joe Mixon. Oh, no. everybody ready to go. Joe Burrow, like everybody ready to go. It's a big, this is my championship game. And bye-bye, gone. That's it. Jerry Bagshaw says the ball has to be returned if it's kicked into the landing zone. If the ball is kicked short of the landing zone or out of bounds, it will be placed on the 40-yard line. Oh, so they got to. Okay, that's very interesting.
Yeah, so they're giving them 20 yards, basically. Cool.
Yeah. More. Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. I think it's going to change just how offenses operate, and like we might see more running. Like this might be the linchpin for like RBs to make a bit of a resurgence this year. Is speaking of which, there's a bunch of running backs on the board.
Yeah.
There's going to be shorter fields in general, and running backs score points, in short yardage situations, and there's just going to be more of those this year.
Yeah. So are we going to see the resurgence of the running back position? Is that what you're telling me?
Jesus. Yeah, I think we might have a little renaissance. Man, everyone's been talking so much shit about Swift. I just couldn't click him there, and I actually saw who is it? I saw someone post on Twitter like running back open score metrics, and like Najee was actually at the top, which was like, well, he wasn't at the bottom. He was, but I don't know. That's interesting. First time taking Najee over Swift, that's for sure.
I tried to take what's his face, Jaylen Warren, but Jaylen Warren went a little bit earlier than usual today.
And I would have loved Zamir, but of course Mossy had to.
Yeah,
take my boy over there.
Gone are the days where you can get Zamir in the 8th.
Yeah, a lot of people started talking about him. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah, definitely annoying. Speaking of annoying, sorry, I'm going to have to tell the folks what we're doing and where we're doing it and how we can do it too. So give me one brief moment. I'll try to make it snappy. This is not a mock draft. This is a real money draft with real money implications. The guy to my right actually won $150,000 plus last year, placing second in this tournament. He's looking to repeat and do even better this year. This is called the Drafters $1,000,003. It's a $2.5 million best ball championship with $2.5 million in total prizes. $500,000 goes to first. It's total points format. Most points win. It's best ball weekly scoring from weeks 1 to 17. It's 12 teams draft, fast and slow. It's a $15 entry. You get to max out with $150, and you bet your booty we're going to max out with $150. It is best ball, which is the most convenient way for your draft. You have 20 rounds to fill your roster for depth. Each week, a starting lineup is composed of the following positions: 1 quarterback, 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 tight end, 1 flex. At the end of the week, the best overall performances on your roster will be submitted to your weekly matchups. No more living points on the bench, no more waiver wires, no more trades. None of that garbage. What do we do with that garbage, Senor Updog?
Get that garbage out of here.
Get that garbage out of here. You literally just draft it and forget it unless you're winning a life-changing amount of money. I think you're on the clock. So sign up today on Draft Fantasy using promo code DISCO, and I will double your initial deposit up to $100. Not bad. We're back.
I went the special teams route, man. I went Shaheed. There we go. He's moving up the ranks.
I need to address my quarterback situation there. I thought I was going to get like a Love or somebody to fall to me, but quarterbacks are going relatively early. Did I get them at ADP or did I reach? I got him right around ADP. It's fine.
No, you're fine. Daniel's 104.
Yeah, we're fine. But yeah, the quarterback value is definitely not there right now. So I need to ask you a question because I heard this conversation over on Bengals chat, and like I'm almost convinced I know the order. Like I have an idea of what the order is going to look like in the receiving core for Green Bay. But in terms of Green Bay pecking order at the receiving core, how do you have them in order, or like what can we expect from each one of them? Who you high on? Who you kind of like fading?
Yeah, I mean it's complicated. In my mind, I play it basically how it is in ADP. I don't really bother with much Wicks, even though everyone seems to like him. I like Christian Watson. Like I've liked him since his rookie year. I've been on him. Like I draft him every year. I had a bunch of them last year, even though he busted. Right. I just like him as a player. And I take him a lot. And Jaden Reed won me a bunch of money last year, so I take him a lot too. I think like Watson definitely has a chance to be the wide receiver one, and people are like he's starting to get steam now just because he's healthy and like he's gonna appear healthy at least going into the season. So people are gonna kind of realize that he could easily be as good as Jaden Reed, but I like them all. I just kind of take them in the order they're in at ADP, and I don't really worry about it too much. Yeah, it's kind of a boring answer, but like I like them all as players, man. I had a big position on Packers last year. I had a lot of Aaron Jones, which didn't work out, but like I really bought into the offense like entirely, and I thought Aaron Jones was getting like disrespected as a player. Of course, now everybody thinks he's amazing because he did what he did in the playoffs, right? But even the games he played at the start of the year, he had like a 30-point game, like week 1 or whatever it was. He started with a bang. So I just buy Green Bay, like the whole team at cost. I'm not really putting in too much thought into like which ones are mispriced. Because I like the whole team. So I don't know.
All right, little extra question here about Green Bay. How do you feel about the tight end room? Who do you think is going to be the guy there?
Yeah, this is what I'm opinionated about. I like Kraft. I'm a Kraft guy. So even last year, I was one of the few people drafting Kraft. I didn't think it was a shoo-in. Musgrave was going to like win the job, and like it kind of played out in the way I expected. Musgrave, like I had a big issue with his tape. If you pull up his highlights, man, like I encourage you guys to do this as an exercise. Like go pull up Musgrave's highlights, and he like trips on every play or every other play.
That's how I feel about Kincaid.
He's like falling over himself. And like I saw flashes last year that I was like, oh man, this guy, if he puts it together, like he could be dangerous, But I don't think he can, man. And Kraft is just more like your prototypical tight end. He'll run through people. He like has decent hands. He blocks. Like in my mind, he looks more like a tight end that's gonna get the run. And Musgrave looks like a guy they're trying to put into a wide receiver role. And like they have good receivers, so I don't know if they're gonna force him out there. But of course, Kraft tore his pec or whatever, so I'm
just waiting for you to make your pick, brother.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I'm chomping at the bit here.
Jesus. I guess we'll just take Benson, man. Whatever.
Damn you.
I'm not really opinionated about him. I just there you can have Chase. Yeah, you're good. I don't really like Kendrick. So.
I feel like you got Benson at tremendous value.
Yeah, he slid like 15 spots. He's sliding a lot now. People are like kind of wising up. He might be not a 0, but like pretty close to a 0. He might be pure contingent. And this whole running back class is kind of like whatever. He was the RB2 in the class, but like going into the class, everyone was like, oh, they suck. Like the whole class is bad. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised to see him like keep falling.
Well, if he starts falling, I'm buying a lot because we know James Conner is going to miss time at some point this year. It's just fact.
Maybe I think they're going to play him like 90% of snaps.
Yeah, but the moment he starts missing time, Trey Benson, like whenever he's gone, especially if he's falling in value, is a spectacular value. And I think he's still going to be in the mix. You can't just give 100% of the touches to Conner. I mean, Demercado is no longer in the mix, so I like.
Yeah, it's Michael Carter's season apparently, according to people on Twitter.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's catch up with it. Ron says it's easy to start overthinking ADP. Facts. big facts.
Yeah, I just don't think any of them are too expensive. Maybe Jaden Reed's like too expensive, but I'm biased, so I take him. Other people maybe don't, but
I like his price point. I think it's still cheap for what he can produce.
What was weird was he like rose. Like I feel like he was in like the 160s to start, and I was like taking him, and then he went to like the mid 150s, and then I'm like, okay, I guess we're still clicking him.
Oh, we were smashing. So like the Laporta call last year, we smashed. The other call we smashed was Jaden Reed, absolute smash. So I'm running with Jaden Reed forever. I will say the way he's being utilized, it seems like he's going to get banged up a lot. But I also think that like he's baby Debo. He has the Debo potential. He has the Debo.
He showed it last year, man. So like he was a guy whose tape I didn't really like, and I wasn't like crazy enthused to draft him as a rookie. Like because when I see players of his style play, like to me it's like you're beating like bad college corners, and like you're like running over people that have no business like playing professional like the guys that aren't going to be in the league. So when I see a little guy trying to do the Debo thing, I'm like, man, I don't know, right? But he did it in the NFL, so like I can't hate on him. I was just drafting him last year because he was on Green Bay, and I'm like, he's a rookie on Green Bay. If I like Green Bay, I'm going to take him. But I didn't have a big position. I had a lot more Christian Watson.
Yeah, I had a lot of Christian Watson last year, which bit me in the ass. Do you know his situation is because he has one hamstring that is
bigger than the other, allegedly?
17% bigger and stronger than the other, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let's catch up with the chat. Two Fat Guy says ADP is only part of the data. Absolutely. But if you can abuse ADP and get good values, it allows you to build a little bit better. James SEO says, not going to be a downer for Green Bay. Expect Love to have less passing attempts. Jacobs should help this year. Green Bay didn't have much of a running game last season. Jordan Love is the MVP for me this year. He is the most valuable player. I try to get him in every draft, especially where he's currently going, and I'll be targeting him in the Scott Fish Bowl as well. That'll be my QB1 because it's a super flex. I hate super flexes. Pains me. How do you have Jordan Love projected this year?
I haven't been getting a lot of them, which is kind of weird, just because he goes in that clump of like all those other quarterbacks, like with Dak and
Burrow and
so I don't know. Like I kind of get a bit of all those guys, but I don't end up having like considering how much Packers I take, I have like a shockingly low amount of love. So like mentally now I'm like trying to take him more. Like I like him, I like him a lot. Year 2, like amazing rookie year. They're gonna kind of let him loose a little more this year, right? It won't be there's no like ramp up. Like he was kind of whatever for the start of last year. He was mega consistent throughout the whole season, to be honest. Yeah, he didn't really have any down. He was just good.
Yeah, well, he finished off spectacularly. I'd like to see him, take the keys and run with it. Hot Take says, got my stack like my team. Good. We'll look over your team at the end. Jacobs' lateral move from Jones. Yeah, I think, you might be right. Love had 579 passing attempts. That should come down to low 500s. I don't know about that. I think it's still going to stay around the 500s. I think he takes over for this Cards by mid. Okay. That's Benson. Yeah, I agree. I think he takes over for the Cards by midseason as well. Just because James Conner, love his game style, love the way he plays, but it's a volatile position, and he has been injured frequently, early and often. So yeah, it's just. I think Benson's going to be a spectacular play, especially in best ball.
Like him and Corum, I've like been taking less recently because in my head I'm like I just want more Connor and I want more Kyron. But it's one of those things, It's like one or the other is going to happen. Like one of them's going to smash, So I shouldn't really be biased. I should just take both. But like I like them at their prices so much, like Kyron and Connor.
I just got sniped on Pop Douglas.
On Pop, yeah. I took Polk in front of you too. I've been taking a lot of Polk, man.
Really?
Yeah.
I have a little, not a lot. I probably have as much Polk as I have KJ Osborne and Juju Smith-Schuster. Keep catching up with the thank you, Fat Guys. Granted, I'm only semi-professional analyst. I think everything that you say, Fat Guys, needs to be taken as a word of the Bible because you're absolutely brilliant, buddy. Why Dad says Wicks is good. He's cheap, and all three before him missed tons of games. Seems like a steal at his price. Yeah, I mean, I know
He's
there's a lot
risen
of
a little bit. That's the only thing in my that like cools me off. Like people were really like people in the content space were really pushing Wicks for a good for the last like 2 months basically. So his ADP's up quite a bit. So I'm just not like chasing that, but a lot of people like him, which is why he's risen so much. Yeah, right.
At first, I was like, meh, just a guy, right? A jag. And then I spoke to Sleazeball. Shout out to Sleazeball. If you're not subscribed to my guy Sleazeball, please do so. He's spectacular and part of my community, and also the sports affiliation and Bayou Bengal. Shout out to those guys. Back to the point. He started talking up Wicks. He pulled up some tape on Wicks. He also said that like his release off the line of scrimmage is kind of like Devontae Adams' release. I'm not seeing that. I don't see that, but I will say it. Like, even though we have a very small sample size,
It's like a body type thing. I can see it, just like the way he's built.
but not the release, not the footwork. That's
it took Adams a couple years to break into the league and like learn how to beat these corners. So even the fact he even showed some life in year one is pretty good. Like,
and the efficiency of his production when he did produce. Even though it's a small sample size in terms of like the game skill, it's still relatively significant. We'll take my guy Aaron Rodgers here, A Rod. Don't mind that pick at all.
See, now if I was here, I would have played that differently. I would have clicked Corley first and tried to push him.
I think Corley will fall to me. I think people are
maybe.
Yeah, I think people are going to go elsewhere. But then again, I'm also streaming, and there's 3 guys that are watching the stream, and
it's just like, well, I guess I didn't look to see who the Garrett Wilson drafter had. He's not going to make it, or he wouldn't have made it back. The Garrett Wilson drafter's at the 11th spot, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I needed that second quarterback. I mean, I do have Breece Hall, so even though
nice.
Even though it's a running back, it's still some correlation.
Hopefully, he led the league in receptions, didn't he?
Definitely led in receiving yards. It was like what 600 plus as a running back.
I'm pretty sure he led the league in RB receptions. Yeah.
So why not get that stack? That stack's not. I think that stack is more of a priority than Corley, which Corley's now gone to Mossy, which is totally fine.
100%. 100%.
Let's keep going with the chat. The chat is popping today. Thank you guys. Any mid-season to end of draft, any mid to end of draft guys you are bold on this year, says Jerry Bagshaw.
Yeah, so I'm Martin Gailing, Jalen Hyatt. I had a lot of Jalen Hyatt was my like most owned player last year across like all sites. I had like 40% on drafters. I'm just gonna do it again. I think he's good. So he's my ultra late wide receiver. I click like half the time. It might be a bit silly, but whatever. Another guy I like is, I think I'm going to take him right here. Devontae Walker, just betting against Bateman a little bit. He's kind of been not a model of consistency and hasn't really like shown a lot. Shown it in spurts, so people have kind of talked highly of the rookie. I don't really know much about Walker, but he's a big downfield threat from what I understand, and I'll take a swing on the rookie. Yeah.
When I put together his highlight, he never did anything that was like that stood out to me. Right? He was kind of like a Quentin Johnson to me, where it's like,
oh no, don't say that.
It's a guy who just didn't really stand out anywhere. Like there's no elite burst, no elite shiftiness, no elite speed. Like he doesn't do anything great. He's just a guy. But like there's a lot of guys who were just a guy, and come game day, they took over and dominate. And like Rashad Bateman, he has all these accolades behind him, like speedster, shifty, strong, like insane 40 time, great combine numbers, but it's never been put together yet. So I think your bet that you're making, where Bateman, you're not taking the Bateman, and you're riding with his replacement. I like that bet. I think it's a good bet.
Yeah, I haven't actually watched this tape, so I'll have to go do that. But I just like the spot, yeah. And there's not too many guys I like this deep, like like McMillan, McCaffrey, those are like fun guys. Mims is a guy like who I'm gonna start clicking more on drafters, especially right. Any site that we know we get these special team scores. Yeah, like I think Mims, like I should flip Mims and Franklin, like in my on those sites. I think it's probably the play. Like I took Franklin here, because I was hopefully gonna set up a late Bo Nix stack, but yeah, probably should take Mims.
And like, okay, so there's so many reasons why I'm high on Demario Douglas, but now you know the main reason why I'm so high on Pop Douglas. Now it's not clear that he's going to be the kick returner, but he should be. His ability with the ball in his hand. That's why I'm so freaking high on Pop Douglas.
Yeah,
it's his ability as a returner in this new return rule, and like Antonio Gibson could also be the return guy there too, right? He's returned kicks.
I think I literally have 0 Antonio Gibson. I like refuse to click this guy.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're just going to draft him for kick return upside, like it's not a good deal. But like guys like Damian Pierce, we saw him be a spectacular kick returner last year towards the end of the season. Like, why wouldn't he repeat as a great returner this year, right? I know I don't need the third tight end, but I love the idea of getting 3 levels of correlation. So I'm going to smash it. I think Ferguson's going to take a step down, so I'm going to protect that pick with Ferguson. Anytime I draft Ferguson, I always get 3 tight ends.
Ingram, Ferg, yeah.
And I know like it's if you draft a Ferguson that early in terms of the draft capital spent, you probably shouldn't spend it on a third tight end.
Yeah, but it can't be that bad stacked, right? You guys were talking last night just about 2 and 3 QB or 2 and 3 tight end, and I think they're both fine. I think if you mix them in at like 50% frequency each, like that's probably just okay. But the thing with tight ends is like having them stacked is really powerful.
Yeah.
Because they benefit most from touchdowns, like because they just get less receptions and less yards. That like relative scoring wise, they benefit more from tight ends and being stacked. So like you do always kind of want to stack your tight ends more so than other positions. And even if you spend a bit of extra capital, like whatever, you have to spend extra somewhere. So you can have a heavy tight end draft, right? It's fine.
I feel vindicated and validated, and I appreciate you, sir.
I'm being lazy. We'll see. I will try and get some streams in here, but I just want to see if so many drafts to do. It's going to be pretty hectic for me. So we'll see. I'll try to fire up some streams here, though. I did start making a YouTube channel layout, so maybe I'll start circulating that in a little bit here. I guess we're going Bo Nix. It looks like.
Okay, Mossy, I was speaking to him off stream, like before the stream started. He said, like, I see how much Disco Ball Nation snipes you on a nightly basis, and I don't get how you do it, sir, but it's like it is what it is. We do it. Wix has crazy upside, says Pat Joyce. Fantasy Fish says, yo, what's up, Fantasy Fish? 2 fat guys, fantasy football. Anthony Juris, great writer, especially during the season for the sports affiliation. He says Wix doesn't have any more upside than any of the Green Bay receivers. That wide receiver room is choose your own adventure. So like Bo Melton, like I will, if I'm light on receiver,
exactly. That's the thing.
Get Bo Melton at the end. So I agree with that sentiment for sure.
So like people look at Wix's stats and they're like, oh, he was like so efficient or whatever. Look at the next guy. Look at Bo Melton. He was just as efficient. Okay, everyone was efficient. They all ate. So like I'm not ready to plant my flag and say one's better than the other. A lot of people are talking like they just know ball so well and they can pick these guys. So I don't know. I just can't pick. I just like them and I'll take them. And I'm gonna start clicking Bo Melton too. I don't have a share of them yet, but like I'm gonna mix them in on love stacks. Like why not?
I like love stacks. That might be my love stacks. Yeah, I like it a lot. I think that's a hit. It sounds like a disco song from the 70s. I agree, man. I think the only
we have a guest here. Oh, there he goes.
Out there. See, I think the only player in the Green Bay receiving room who I'm kind of like I just like I'm not gonna get exposure there because I just don't like him is Romeo Doubs. I just don't like I don't like his face. Something about him. I don't like Doubs.
Yeah, I mean he scored a lot of touchdowns and he played good in the playoffs. So like I've been clicking him a lot on Underdog in my slows just because that site also just touchdowns matter more and he's kind of been that guy. I like Doubs, man. I think Doubs is a little slept on. But like I said, I think they're all at fair value, and I basically just clicked them all.
Fair.
Aguilar, I don't have any Aguilar, but he could definitely just do it again and be the guy. You know.
Yeah, Willie says wanted Aguilar. Thoughts on Aguilar? I think as a late round pick, he's shown time and time again that he is a spike week freak, and he'll give you a couple really really good weeks. So yeah, I think in your 20th round, if he's available, smash that pick, especially if you're hurting at wide receiver. Two Fat Guy says, anyone here going to be at the Cincinnati Live Scott Fishbowl tomorrow? Jerry Bagshaw is going to be at the Cincinnati tomorrow. Wow, small world. Wait till Arthur Smith has Fields returning kicks. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, if the Madden commercial has any merit and any truth to it, especially in this here format with hold on, I got to lock in. Miles Sanders, yes sir.
Got to lock in. Yeah, I have so many drafts to do, man. I actually have to lock in. Like, it's I've even been procrastinating with my drafters teams, man. I'm only at 43. I need to pick up the pace.
It's a long summer. It's a long summer, and this is the one that you can kind of like push towards the end because of the overlay, right? The overlay is going to be spectacular.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't have risk of filling early. And then something to consider for drafters, guys, is they always give you these great promos for like the last month. They'll do like draft 5 get 1 free on like the last couple of weekends. Yeah. So I would say the last month, like every weekend, have 5 bullets in the chamber or whatever, have 10 bullets in the chamber for those last like 4 weekends, because they'll pay you to play best ball, which is cool.
100%. 100%. And like their current promos are pretty spectacular as well. So yeah, I would say not necessarily pace yourself, but pace yourself. Especially for the late push, if you're drafting drafters, and just wait for August, especially if you haven't experienced drafters. Wait for August, wait for like early September. It gets really nice. It gets really fun.
Yeah.
Dan Neely says, stack both my top tight ends here. Can't wait to look at your team, brother. More Scott Fishbowl. We need to get a drink, Jerry. W says Mossy. Mossy's a W. I love Mossy. More talking about Scott Fish. I'm excited for you guys. Meeting in Cincinnati, that's going to be good. Next year, I'm going to try for Buffalo Live Draft. If you go to the Buffalo Live Draft and I'm in, I'll come with you, James. We'll do James. Okay. Bad Guys Official really is a good guy. Says, what's up, Disco Ball Nation? He's entered the giveaway. AP says, Disco. AP, I don't know if you entered the giveaway, but put what's up. I'm gonna have to play it one more time because it's just so fun. It takes a while to clip it and then so I'm just gonna play it.
What's up? What's up?
Just gotta do it. If you guys are watching us on X, thank you. Really, really appreciate you guys tuning in and supporting the kid in the channel. But to enter this giveaway, a chance to draft a fantasy football lineup that could win you potentially $500,000 Rooskies. Make sure you come over here and you tune in on YouTube, like the video, costs you nothing. Subscribe to the channel, also costs you nothing. And then just put hashtag WhatsApp like this, and you'll enter our live giveaway tonight. So let's see who he takes with pick 20. Last year was Kyron Williams. Who does he take with his 20th pick?
Yeah, this is a guy I'm gonna start mixing in more, just as a potential like Puka comp.
The pressure's on, sir. We are all anticipating.
His dad was pretty good at football, so that's pretty much it.
Brandon Rice. All right, guys.
Seems good to me. You got to mix him in.
Let's push his ADP all the fucking way up. Let's go, Brandon. All right. Bad Guys Officials enter the giveaway. Mark Burnsy. What's up, Burnsy? This guy kills it in the NBA streets, the fantasy football streets.
What up, Mark?
There's not a street where he doesn't kill it. Round 20 feels so ugly now. I mean, there's a lot of good value there. Like, I like Mingo a lot. I like Mingo a lot as my 20th round pick. I love Justice Hill, Miles Sanders. Those guys are all great 20th round picks, in my opinion, my humble opinion, but I could be wrong. All right, you know the deal, buddy. Do you have time to grade lineups with me?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
We got quite a few, so we'll start with our boy Mossy. We'll go, and then we'll finish with mine. We got quite a few. All right, Mossy goes 2, 6, 10, 2. Kyler Murray, Kirk Cousins, Joe Mixon, Zamir White, B. Rob the Mob, Brian Robinson, Devin Singletary, Ezekiel Elliott, Dylan Earlobe, Laube, Drake London, Marvin Harrison Jr., Zay Flowers, Tank Dell, Wandell Robinson, Malachi Corley, Snipe Show, Jalen McMillan, Zay Jones, Rondell Moore, Eric Cedric Tillman. I don't hate the Cedric Tillman pick. Kyle Pitts, Pat Firemuth.
I have to like Tillman because he's a Hyatt corollary. Like they were both on the same college team, so like in my mind, like if they're both good, like they're both going to show out or whatever. So sometimes I'll even like take them together just because like betting on the talent, like of the two of them together. Yeah, he seems like a fine guy to mix in. Yeah, it's a good team. It's very similar to the one I built. I just now I did the same structure 2-6-10-2. Solid team, man. Took a bunch of receivers. Didn't go crazy at running back. You know, he's got his 4 studs out. He's got those running backs are really good for the capital spend, you know. But I guess that's the theme this year is you can get so many in those mid rounds. Yeah, Mossy's a crusher. He knows what he's doing. Bunch of good players. Really well built team.
I like it.
He got like getting tanked out in round 4 or whatever is like so good. He's got the week 17 correlation with Flowers and Tank Dell, you know.
I will say I have a lot of Nico Collins. I have a little bit of Diggs, a little bit of Tank Dell. I need to balance out my portfolio with those guys.
Yeah, but, I love getting Tank Dell in the 4th, man. That seems like cheating.
I feel like getting Sam Laporta or Travis Kelce in the 4th is cheating. Those two guys. But like I might need to.
Laporta is falling into the 4th now sometimes.
Yeah, I that's how I'm getting all my bully tight end stacks. Like getting both Kelce and Laporta. It's because like before it was Kelce was falling in the. I think I have 5 lineups with that bully tight end start, and they all get better. All right, let's look at why dad. He goes Josh 2693, Josh Allen, Bryce Young, Jonathan Taylor, Aaron Jones, Gus Bus, Ray Davis. I like the Ray Davis pick. A little bit of correlation there too. Donta Foreman, Kenneth Gainwell. Wide receiver, he goes Garrett Wilson, DeAndre Hopkins, Deontay Johnson, Jameson Williams, Khalil Shakir, Romeo Dobbs, Xavier Legette, Adam Thielen, Luke McCaffrey. I think your receivers are sick. Yeah, tight end, Travis Kelce, Mr. Man Meat. All right, we got to play the Man Meat. I apologize. Give me a sec.
Oh, man. Look, I got some man meat for this guy. This dude is good.
Shout out to Buy Bangle. Make sure you're subbed. And yes, JC, Money Design, and the Sports Affiliation are going live at 10 p.m. Eastern time. So there's definitely going to be more drafts tonight for sure. Yeah, it's not bad. Tell me what you think about why Dad's draft.
Yeah, very strong team. Again, it's similar structure. You sprinkled in a 3rd tight end just cause, which is fine. You know, go for it. Like, you know, generally when you're spending on Kelce, you don't really want to do that. But frankly, his other spots are like so deep. It's fine. You know, he's got like D-Hop is maybe a bit thin for wide receiver 2, but he's also got like he can just smash and be a top 10 receiver. So in that world, like you're actually building a pretty cool team. Just banking on D-Hop to be awesome, and maybe Kelce doesn't have maybe he does get sat more, right? And mixing him in with 3 tight ends is actually, or not, whatever. Maybe he does get a bit of a reduced role, and by going 3 tight end, you might actually be doing something like a little unique and cool. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it looks like he's very invested in the receiving core for Carolina. He's got Thielen, Legette, Deontay Johnson, Jatavian.
Oh yeah, so he just wanted to do the mega stack thing too, which is that's cool. Yeah,
also go to Bryce Young. I don't hate it. I don't think it's a bad idea.
Yeah, no, it's a good team.
It's a good team. Yeah, solid draft. All right, let's go. Okay, Huron River Rat. All right, he goes 2792. Anthony Richardson, Matthew Stafford. That's where Stafford went. He goes Jameer. I go again on my own. Jameer Gibbs, Jalen Warren, Tajay Spears, Zach Charbonnet, Will Shipley, Evan Hall, Keaton Mitchell. Wide receiver goes Puka Nacua, Michael Pittman, Christian Kirk, Rashee Rice, Jacoby Myers, Jahan Dotson, Demarcus Robinson, Marvin Mims, Greg Dortch, Brock Bowers, Jonathan Smith as his 2 tight ends.
Yeah, I like it, man. It's the Brock Bowers nuclear season, and this team might win it all. It's very, very well built. It's got his 2. So something that you should always try and do on drafters is what he did with his top receiving options. Like generally speaking, you want to stack up your first receivers drafted because you've already bet on them having the best season like possible. So like obviously you want the quarterback. It's just more important on drafters to stack your top receivers because I mean, if they don't hit their not outcomes, you're not winning. So it just makes sense to try and stack up your premium receivers.
Yeah, I think he did it, and he did it at value. I think that's my only issue is like it's tough to do it when it's at the value and not reach, right? I'd rather wait till it comes to me at ADP or
For
at,
sure.
yeah,
I wouldn't be ever forcing stuff basically because like to beat these fields, you have to get lucky. And if that means your quarterback coming back half a round, like you just have to take that gamble sometimes, you know?
it's a very sharp draft in my opinion. I think he did great.
Yeah, like the perfect situation is getting the QB to your like top 2 receivers or whatever, like after ADP, you know? And a great way to accomplish that is actually build mega stacks because if you take like 2 or 3, you know, pieces from them, you have less people trying to take the quarterback. Just straight up. So
Totally. I like the receiving room, the running room, like everything is nice.
Yeah, good team. I like the RBs he mixed in late. Like Shipley seems fine. Hull's a good bet. I don't like Sermon and Keaton Mitchell. He's got like sneaky Kyron potential.
If he's
I'm not gonna compare Derrick Henry to Cam Akers because that's like that's ridiculous. But Keaton Mitchell came in kind of flashed year 1 and he showed us that he can like play on an NFL field. So like he could just do it again, you know?
But December 17th for a torn ACL, a grade 3 ACL tear is a little late in the season. So I think as a late round running back, especially where he got him, I think it's a tremendous value. I just
it might be something you want to do, maybe not on drafters, but like on other sites for that late season upside. But but I've been thinking more about him. I think he was just too good last year to kind of not mix in.
For sure. How do you feel about Ollie being that third running back?
Again, I don't know much about him. I've definitely clicked Ollie more than Mitchell so far, but that's what I've kind of been thinking about it. I don't know enough of the prospect, but
any Justice Hill?
I don't really need to know anything. He's a rookie in a decent spot. I just mix him in sometimes.
By Bengal says, I love Ollie. I know you do. That's why I'm asking. What about Justice Hill? Do you have any Justice Hill?
No, I have none this year. I took some last year, just like sprinkled them in a little bit. He was okay. But now there's too many backs, so I'll bet on the rookies. Like for sure, like Hill's not going to have he's not going to win you a league, right? Like he had his chance last year to do something, and
I think he fills in that Tajay Spears role. I know they're both on different teams. They're both on Baltimore, but in third down, if it's third and long, Derrick Henry's going to have to come off the field, right?
Yeah, I mean, they took him off last year, but like different teams, so we'll see.
So I'm assuming Justice Hill's going to do the same thing this year because they did the same thing.
That would make sense, yeah.
That's why I like Justice Hill in like round 19 and 20. But I mean, I'm not trying to convince you otherwise. Chef TB says, hashtag what's up? He's entered the giveaway. Sweet. All right, let's look at Willie 86's team. He goes he goes 2-6-9-3, Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield. Running back goes Christian McCaffrey, Rashad White, Austin Eckler, Chuba, Tyrone Tracy, Jawar Jordan. That's a name.
So he's like guy like Ali. Like I don't know anything about him either, but I mix him in just like Ali, basically. He's just a rookie in a decent spot.
Yeah. I remember having B. Kurt on earlier saying like he likes Jawar Jordan over Damian Pierce. I'm like, okay, I'll look into it. I haven't gotten to it.
I tend to think Pierce is. He showed us some stuff in year 1. He also got hurt last year. People forget like he wasn't healthy. So I like Pierce. Pierce was like my number 1 drafted running back in the pre-draft contest
this year.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
He was just free and cheap in Texas. Like the Texas RB room is like so whatever, like they brought in Mixon, who like hasn't impressed us for a couple of years now. He's just been a volume guy. So like it seems like a decent spot to bet on the RB2. And of course now they have another rookie, but I don't know where was Jawar drafted, like the 6th or 7th round, probably.
Yeah, I mean there wasn't much capital spent on him, if any at all, right? So continuing with his lineup, his wide receivers, he's got Debo, Mike Evans, so a little bit of correlation with White, Baker, Mike Evans.
Yeah, he's got 2 49ers.
Yeah, Jordan Addison. Yeah. Jordan Addison, Tyler Lockett, Brandon Cooks. There's your Cooks pick. Gabe Davis, Roman Wilson, Jalen Hyatt. There's your Hyatt pick. And Andre Yoshavash. And then he stacked, got a double stack at the tight end position.
He stacked both of his quarterbacks. That's interesting. Doing the double tap, like I would never do the Likely Andrews thing. But I mean, it could work. Like, there's going to be an outcome this year where they both play and they both do okay.
And Cade Otton in there. Cade Otton's one of those guys I struggle with. I see him, and it's like another one of those guys where it's like I don't.
I think
see
he ran like near the most amount of routes last year, so I
Vince
do like him. Yeah,
Just-
but it's
yeah.
it's
Straight
at least
up
he's
Vince
out
Prince.
there, so I don't mind mixing him in as a late guy. Like he kind of reminds me of like a Schultz, like before he got popular, before he had his big season. Like, I'm not saying Cade Otton's gonna have a top 10 tight end season or whatever, but I just think he's out there and he's like good enough that I mix in. I don't really take a stand. I like Likely a lot. I'm kind of fading Andrews just as a general, like, I'm just kind of fading Andrews because he got hurt last year and everybody loves him. Everybody's clicking him a lot. You see a bunch of people posting on Twitter about their Andrew stacks and stuff. So purely to just mix it up in some spots that I think people are like maybe focusing on a bit too much. I'm just going to take more Likely and try and pass a bit on Andrews. But it's just like a strategy thing, not really anything player take wise. Like, he did get hurt. That's kind of he got hurt last year. And
I mean, for similar purposes as you, I have Evan Ingram ranked higher than I have Mark Andrews this year.
Yeah, the Evan Ingram is one I've been thinking about specifically. Like, literally, last night I watched. So like Josh and Hayden, they do great content right on the Underdog YouTube channel, and they had one with Mike Clay, who's like the perennial ESPN rankings guy, and he was just gushing about Evan Ingram, man. And I liked him. I've taken Ingram the last couple of years. People have like kind of disrespected him. He got
he's still
a crazy amount of targets last year, a lot of end zone targets. Like, Ridley led the team in end zone targets and left. There's like a pretty big bull case for Evan Ingram that I'm like just starting to wake up to.
Yeah, I like him, and I think his price point is perfect still. I think the fact that guys like Mark Andrews, and like, once again, Mark Andrews got hurt, it's fine. But guys like Kyle Pitts, Dalton Kincaid, the fact that these guys are all going not just earlier than Evan Ingram, but like 2-3 rounds, that's pretty insane to me. I think McBride is priced where he should be. I love the price for obviously Laporta and for Kelsey, but I look at Kincaid's price, I look at Pitt's price, I look at Mark Andrews' price. I'm like, these guys are very, very, like, they're way overpriced, and I would not spend that capital. So if I don't get, one of those first three names that I mentioned, I'm waiting for the Ingrams, I'm waiting for the Njokus, I'm waiting for the Bowers. I wanted to say something about Bowers. First, let's say what we have to say about Willie's team. I think it's a very strong draft. I like it. I love the correlation everywhere. The receivers are all great ceiling plays. It's very, very nicely done, Willie.
A lot of correlation. It's very cool. He's got the Tampa Bay, San Francisco thing. He's got the Baltimore thing going on. He's got Rashad and Evans. He's got McCaffrey and Debo.
Yeah.
Like, it's not really something I try to do in these formats. Like, I covered it a bit last time when you're just trying to find nut outcomes of players. Like, you don't always want to have like their counterpart, but at the same time, like, making correlated team bets is also like good and like can't really be bad. So it's just tough to do at high capital. I mean, my team that did well last year had basically the whole San Francisco team. It had Ayuk, Debo, Kittle, Purdy, and those guys were pretty expensive, so it's not like it can't work. But they were a little bit cheaper than they are this year. So it's just kind of hard to pay off ADP of like, 2 San Fran pieces in the first 2 rounds or whatever, like 2 Miami pieces in the first 2 rounds. It's just kind of hard for them to get to the top of a drafter's leaderboard. Like, you just need so many weeks where they both go nuts together, and it just doesn't, like, it happened for Miami like a little bit a couple years ago. And if you want to teleport a few years further back, I think Godwin's rookie year, him and Evans were like 2, 3, 4 picks, I think. And they both ended up like top 5 receivers each. So like, it can happen. It's just like a pretty rare occurrence.
Great assessment, obviously. Let's catch up with the chat real quick, and then we'll get to the next team. So Chef says, I like Keelan Robinson and Terrell Jennings for the same reason you like Ali. I've never heard of either one of them. Have you?
I know Keelan. He's on the Jag, so he's going to take Tank Bigsby's job, or Dearness Johnson's job or something. I don't know anything about the kid though. He's I think a rookie. I haven't clicked him yet, but I have heard a couple people talk encouragingly about him, and I do think Tank Bigsby is like trash. I have not clicked him yet, and I don't think I will be. I really honestly think I'd like Dearness Johnson over him, but I haven't. We'll wait for camp and we'll start mixing in the guy there.
Fair. Buy Bengal Fantasy Network. Subscribe to my guy. Dude's brilliant, right? He says, I gave a decent draft profile for Jawar Jordan. If Damian Pierce doesn't take the number 2 role, Jordan could take that spot. I, however, like Pierce too much to take Jordan. I agree. I'm with you 100%. You just said the same sentiment. Daniele says, my first Caleb Williams of the year, I think, out of 100 drafts all across platforms. Okay, let's check your team.
I like Caleb. I got a lot of them.
Okay,
I'm putting the nail polish thing aside. I'm not worrying about it. I think he's good at football. You know, we're gonna draft him.
I think he's gonna smash. I think he's gonna be a really good football player.
Yeah, I put on his tape, man, and I can't really unsee it. He does look like Mahomesian, which is like a pretty wild comp.
I think he's more Rodgers than Mahomes, but I can see the Mahomes aspect. I just this year I think he's going to have a better career than all the rookie quarterbacks. I just think this year in particular, Jaden Daniels is going to be the best.
Yeah, I'm worried about the coaching situation or whatever. Like, what's his face? Is it Waldron or whatever? But we'll see.
Yeah. That entire team is just it's ran improperly. Like their GM is doing well everywhere except for the coaching team. Okay, so let's look at just Josh, and this is the guy who got his first share of Caleb. He goes 3-6-8-3, very safe. He goes Brock Purdy, Caleb Williams, Daniel Jones. Running back goes Ramondre Stevenson, Raheem Mostert, Jonathan Brooks, Nick Chubb, Antonio Gibson, J.K. Dobbins. Wide receiver goes Tyreek Hill, Brandon Ayuk, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen. I like the nice little double stack there too.
Triple. He's got Komet.
Yeah. Did he get he likes getting correlation everywhere. Did he get correlation?
He's got Slayton. He's got Ayuk. Yeah. It's a good team.
Kittle, Komet, Hawkinson. I just wanted to see if you got any correlation at the running back position.
I mean, it's at the end of the day, you just probably don't have enough receiver firepower. Like it's a good team, but you got to find your way into another receiver. Like one of those onesies can't be 3 in my opinion. But it could still work.
So I would personally say I think it's safe to have 3 quarterbacks with this build, and probably 2 tight ends would make the most sense. No need for TJ Hawkinson, even though
I'd probably go 2 quarterback, to be honest, but it's fine. The fact you have it all stacked up makes it okay. Like if one of those quarterbacks is unstacked, it would be like, I'd be like, yeah, that's not good. But it's a good team. You got to, you're mixing in Hawkinson, which is cool, like at a discount. I remember we saw that last draft. Someone got a big follower on Hawkinson and mixed him in. So yeah, fuck it, go for it, right? You got everything stacked up. You need at least you did spend some good capital at receivers, right? So if you did draft some of the top 10 receivers in your first 4 picks, yeah, you can win for sure.
Tyler's new to my show. He's new to my show, but I know him from Buy Bengals show. He says, "Updog in all my fucking drafts, now spilling secrets." Tell me about this Tyler guy. This is the first Tyler I have in my channel. I feel like Buy Bengal has like 6 there.
Yeah, he streams on the Fantasy Sanctuary.
Okay.
Another YouTube channel. Yeah, it's a good follow. There's some good stuff over there. I've been watching all of Tyler and T-Strack's drafts. I was in so many DraftKings slows with him last year because he's in the UK and has to can only play on DraftKings. But yeah, those guys do a great job on the Fantasy Sanctuary.
Well, shout out to you, Tyler, and the Fantasy Sanctuary. If you're a fan of Buy Bengals and a friend of Updogs, you're a friend of mine. Welcome to Disco Ball Nation, my friend. Ron Kerr says, Willie, was Pearson the coach when Ertz with the Eagles? If so, I would think he was top 5. Yeah, exactly. So Willie made a great point here. He's like, saw a post that Doug Pearson has never coached a tight end that finished outside top 8 in a season. Ingram will have a big year. I think
that's quite the stat. Yeah,
that is a great stat. Ingram, a great pick for full PPR.
Yeah. And a lot of people just have the ick with Ingram. Like they just don't like him. Because he disappointed for a couple years, 3-4 years ago
in New York.
He's been good.
They're called Giants fans. They're called Giants.
Yeah, they're salty Giants fans. Yeah, yeah, they're salty Giants fans. Yeah, I have a bit of salt towards them too because I was cheering for the Pats back then. When they
don't
back during the perfect season. That was a tough That was a tough game. It was pretty crazy,
Don't
man.
get me started, man.
Yeah.
Don't get me started. I still am a Pats fan. Don't get me started. A lot of teams from the community in this draft. Oh yeah, like I would say,
A lot
there's
of
only
strong
two-
teams. Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
good drafting out here
Yeah.
tonight.
really, really good teams. Hey, with Ingram last season, do you think he got all the targets because of wide receiver injuries? I would say it's because he saw a lot of zone defenses. I would say they face a lot of zone defenses, and that's where he flourishes. He gets to find the nice little pockets and alleys in the zone defenses, and he gets to abuse it. If he's going against a team that runs zone defense predominantly, he's the guy you want at your tight end position in your DFS lineups. What about you, Updog? Any takes? Why did Ingram do so well last year?
Yeah, I mean, he just crushed it like in PPR, right? He only had a couple touchdowns, and like if he caught some more touchdowns, like if some of Ridley's end zone targets he didn't get started going to Ingram sooner, like he could have had a monster season.
100%.
So yeah, he's a guy I've been thinking about a lot more recently. I've just kind of been clicking Kirk and clicking Brian Thomas without like thinking too much about it, and just because there's like a whole bunch of early tight ends that I like, I haven't really been getting to him. So like I'm intentionally going to be drafting more Evan Ingram now, and I think it's a pretty good spot to be gambling on.
Evan Ingram right now, like I looked at my tools. Evan Ingram and Trevor Lawrence is my highest owned stack because Trevor Lawrence is going off the board at 120, sometimes even later. Where did Trevor Lawrence go here? Trevor Lawrence went 120, right on the dot, 120 exactly.
Yeah. I like a lot of these guys, man. You know who I'm getting a lot is, I'm looking at Snowman's draft here. I'm getting a lot of Burrow recently.
Really?
Like T. Higgins in the 4th and like Burrow, like pushing him into like the 110s. Like, it seems kind of crazy.
Sorry, I just need to take a moment to shout out this man. Shout out to Bear Fan Pete. Bear Fan Pete is with the sports affiliation, and he will be on the sports affiliations tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern time for Drafters After Dark. Please subscribe to my friends at the sports affiliation. Shout out to JC Money Design, Bear Fans Pete, and also shout out to Bayou Bengal and my buddy Sleazeball, who is still partying. Sleazeball does not stop partying ever. I love it. I'm Emo Cowboy. Howdy. Did you draft with us? No, he's not in this lobby. Okay.
I'm pretty sure he's doing some on Drafters this year. I don't know if he did in the past, but yeah, Drafters is awesome, man. Like I've been saying for years, not only because I'm stuck in Ontario and I don't really have access to other tournaments, but it literally is the best tournament to play, like bar none. So definitely something to mix in. There's a lot of best ball bros who ignore Drafters, but if we got $500,000 up for first this year, so it'd be a little foolish to not play in this tournament.
100%. And I mean, the second $2 mini is already up, and I think
it's feeling like crazy, man.
I think
people are going nuts for the $2.
35 days tops. Like you need to draft 10 lineups a day in order to keep up. I think it's going to last 30 to 35 days tops easily.
Did I tell you what I did for?
Thank you, Tyler.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. What were you going to say?
Well, I was saying, did I tell you what I did for the last $2?
No.
I entered like 100 slow drafts in the last week. And
of course
I think I'm auto drafting like 90% of them, but I just set some limits, and we'll see what happens. It's kind of fun doing like a semi auto draft thing at the low stakes. It's pretty cool. I'm enjoying it.
Let's be honest. You have the bankroll to afford that, right?
Yeah, we'll punt $200. Sure, why not?
Yeah,
right?
well, why the heck not? Tyler says, glad to add another awesome draft channel to the sub. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah. This guy's a great follow, man. You'll great drafters content and streams every night at 7, 5 days a week.
Yeah, 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. And Updog was a member of Disco Ball Nation before the fame, and he didn't forget us. And shout out to Updog for the humility and just being a great guy every single time. Hey, cost us so many games. Either drops. There's the Giants fan talking about Ingram with drops. Drafters got solid ass tournaments. All right. I'll catch up with the chats. We still got a couple lineups to look at. We got Hot Take City, Snowman. So we'll start with Snowman 089. He goes 3683. He goes Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Geno Smith, Saquon Barkley, Isaiah Pacheco, DeAndre Swift. Your first 3 running backs are sick. Blake Corum, also another good running back. Tyler Algier, Bucky Irving, Jamar Chase, DK Metcalf, T. Higgins, double stack.
Yeah.
Alert, love it. A little more
Seattle
correlation.
double two, and then does he
Yeah.
have and then he's got McConkey. Yeah.
Yeah, he even threw
nice.
in Jermaine Burton there. So he's got Lad McConkey, Jackson Smith and
triple.
Jigma, Mike Williams, Jermaine Burton, Kendrick Bourne, Noah Fant, Colby Parkinson, Zach Ertz. You definitely take a significant drop here at the tight end position. But before you go into this lineup, I have a question. If you do get Joe Burrow as your QB1, are you comfortable going to QB builds with Joe Burrow as your QB1 in the drafts?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'll go TQB with almost anybody, to be honest. You know, you can go TQB with Stafford or Cousins or whatever if you so wanted to. I don't mind it. Here, like, I see why he did it. He just got a big discount on Geno and he had the double, so he's like, screw it, let's do it, right? Yeah. If anything, maybe like next time because you planned the double, maybe you try and push Herbert around too. Maybe try and get them both at a discount and be comfortable with a 2 QB build, like whoever it is. But yeah, it's a strong team. Running backs are stacked. You might be a bit weak at receiver, but if your team stacks like ping pong really well, it could get it done.
For sure. So we got a question here from James SEO. Updog, who is your top 3 tight ends for this year? Please and thank you. Are you willing to divulge your rankings? James is one of those Ontario guys. I think he's like an hour away from you.
I might as well just pull it up. Yeah.
He's an hour away from you, so it means a lot to James.
I'm curious. I don't even know who's my highest owned tight end.
Or just in terms of your rankings, if you could think off the top of your head, who do you think is like your favorites?
I want to find out anyway, so we're gonna.
All right, let's do this. Let's do this, guys. Live. Shout out to James SEO. If you're not following him on X, Fix Your Life, dude is phenomenal.
Interesting.
Move to Quebec. There's no way I'll ever move to Quebec. Quebec is the dark side. We don't go to the dark side. I live in Ottawa, and like that's the worst part about living in Ottawa, especially when you get downtown. Every Quebecois that crosses the bridge, the Gatineau guys, they just ruin. It makes driving absolutely impossible. But
yeah, I used to take the train to Quebec and walk across I'd either go to Ottawa or I'd go to Montreal and and do my slows there. But now I just drive to Buffalo.
Well, next time you come to Ottawa, please hit me up. I would love to take you out on it.
Yeah, I'll have to make a trip out there. Yeah, it was pretty nice actually, just walking across the river there or whatever into Gatineau.
It's cool. Literally a hop, skip, and a jump, and then it just starts smelling bad over on the Quebec side.
You walk right by the Parliament building, and you go into a little French town.
Yeah,
it's cool, man.
Yeah, over in Hull. But yeah, man, the best thing that come out of Quebec is Putin, and hopefully this not Vladimir Putin, like Putin, the food. My American friends, we are not pro Vladimir Putin, not pro Russia. America,
pro Russia channel here.
America. God, I almost got canceled.
On July 4th.
Drafters really connecting all the Ontarians together.
Man.
Yes, sir. You know what, man? Good things grow in Ontario. Like look at my good friend here, Updog. He is living proof that you are very capable of winning and placing high in this tournament. Doesn't matter where you are or where you're from. This is starting to sound like a Backstreet Boys song. But yeah, man, shout out to Updog. Shout out to Ontario Strong. Forgot Updog is only an hour away. Typically go to Gino. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I like it, Snowman. Yeah.
Yeah. Kelsey Laporta, McBuckets for me.
Yeah. So I'll give you my top 6 because my sixth highest is a guy that I think is my highest own on other sites, on playoff sites. So my 6th is Kittle. I'm drafting him just so much on playoff sites. Because I end up with Detroit players and then I just need correlation, so I end up taking him. 5th is Dalton Schultz, who I kind of liked forever since he was free on Dallas, and I just keep taking him. 4th is Tucker Kraft, which is interesting. I was taking him a lot early as a punt tight end because I like him. But now that we know a bit more about the Peck, I kind of am getting a little worried. So that'll go down. 3 is Bowers. I love Bowers. I've been taking him a lot. 2 is Jake Ferg. Just betting on Dallas. I take a lot of Cooks. I take a lot of Ferg. And number 1 is Dalton Kincaid. We're doing the elite tight end thing, and
Dalton Kincaid.
He's my number 1, man. I think he was my number 1 tight end last year as well, which is Interesting.
I'm so out on Dalton Kincaid. I'd much rather Dawson Knox in round 20. The same way you're pushing.
No,
Luke
I
Musgrave
like
for
him,
second
man.
draft. I like
him.
All right. I mean, there's a reason why you're you and I'm me, right? It's because I'm stubborn and I just don't like Dalton Kincaid.
Well, I can give you a little bit of story on my bias. I did a bit of work for PFF last year, like charting their stuff. I got like a part-time job doing their like the baseline player participation stuff with them, which is pretty cool. So I spent the season like watching football and like getting paid. It was honestly pennies and like not worth my time, but it was a cool thing to do for a couple months. And I did a couple Kincaid like college games as my like training, and I don't know, he was just good. They were all like 15 target Kincaid games, and I can't like unsee it. I watched them play like pretty intently, and just kind of liked what he did. He reminded me of Andrews. He kind of gave me that vibe. He's kind of built the same way. He's like a good like possession tight end. Like as weird as that sounds, he catches stuff and he runs decent enough routes. He got the draft capital. Like Buffalo's, lost their starting, receiver or whatever. So yeah, I'm just kind of buying into the talent. It's pretty expensive to have your top owned tight end, but in the 50s or whatever. But I like him. And like just to give you guys some context, I'm pretty flat. Like we're talking about 16% here. Like this isn't crazy.
Yeah, this isn't Bayou Bengal.
This is like literally just double the field. Yeah, it's not.
Bayou Bengal's at like 69% AT Perry, which is insane to me. Like
I did that with Hyatt last year, man. I had like 45% Hyatt. I think AT Perry is a good target to do it with. Like I think he's got a chance to be.
Well, where he's going in ADP, yeah, it's not costing him much, but like shit. The guy I have the most ownership on is Cooper Kupp, and I'm at like 33% because I just keep smashing him. Or I kept smashing him early on in the third round. Whenever he popped up in the third round, I was drafting him.
Are you looking at your exposures too?
No, I could pull it up in a sec if you want.
I was just curious because I have a bunch of Kupp too, but it's at like a big discount.
Yeah, I got Kupp at here. Let me pull up my exposure on my phone.
It's actually it's like crazy to me how much he's gone up. Kupp is my number 3 owned receiver after. Yeah, so my receivers of my top 3 here. My number 1 receiver is Hollywood Brown. I was buying him a lot early.
This is just the main or all tournaments?
Just the main. I got 26% Hollywood Brown at an average ADP of 60. So like he's going at 48 now. So I was hammering him early. People were taking the rookie ahead of him, so I was just buying that. I got 23% Cooks at 133 average, and now he's going at 110. And then I got 21% Cooper Kupp at 31 and a half.
That's a great value. I had him at
23. Yeah.
I had him early. I have 24% Cooper Kupp at
that's pretty good, man. I'm pretty happy with those CLVs early, yeah.
But my ADP is, especially because like I keep drafting him whenever I see him, is 27.6. But I was getting him every draft when we first started. So my ADP was like 31 before.
I should have probably done some more drafts early because of these values. Like at the time, I was like, even like Waddle was a guy that steamed a bunch too. Like you kind of knew these guys were going to steam, but sometimes you have to be like, this value is only going to exist for so long. I need to do more drafts. So I feel like I'm underexposed. Like I might have good ownerships now, but I've only done about 45 drafts or whatever, so it's not that many teams.
Well, the fact that you have him at a better ADP than I do says a lot. Like either
I did a bunch of slow drafts day one, so that's what it is. I did like 30 slows day one, and so that's why some of my ADPs are really good. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. What's up, Mark Burnsy? He says he's got Rashee Rice at 31%. If Rashee Rice plays this year, that's a smash.
I've been a little hesitant on Rice. Of course, now I'm kind of mixing him in without any bias, but I was one of those guys not clicking him as he fell to the depths,
Gotcha.
Probably bad process by me for sure, but I don't know, man. I saw him try to lane split, and I can't unsee that.
Yeah, he's an asshole, and then more nightclub debauchery. Anyways, let's talk about Hot Take sitting in his lineup. We haven't forgot about you, Hot Take. You still here, Hot Take? He goes 2, 5, 10, 3. By the way, if you guys are just tuning in, we are giving away a ticket tonight. We got an even split, 25 people watching us on X, 25 people watching us on YouTube. So come on over here on YouTube, smash the like, smash the subscription. Both of it is completely free. I mean, you could also gently click smash or click sub and click the like. You don't necessarily have to smash it. And put hashtag WhatsApp here in our chat. Don't care how many S's or H's or Z's you want to throw in there. It's all good, and we're gonna do a nice little duck race to wrap up the show. But we still got 3 lineups to go through. We got hot takes, we got up dogs, and we got mine. We got hot take city goes 2-5-10-3. He goes Jared Goffel and Derek Carr. Running backs, he goes Alvin Kamara, David Montgomery, Zach Moss, Tony Pollard, Javonte Williams. I noticed a lot of people in our community like to stack the running backs with the quarterbacks. And then same thing here. Amon-Ra St. Brown, so more correlation. Chris Olave, Amari Cooper, Chris Godwin, Darnell Mooney, Ricky Pearsall, Michael Wilson,
and the double
Rashad Bateman, Tyler Boyd, A.T. Perry. There's the A.T. Perry pick. Sam Laporta, Jawan Johnson, Theo Johnson, like all levels of.
Yeah, it's a good team, man. I really like what he did here.
Yeah.
Like, so the tight end room was similar to what I did last year, which worked pretty great, which was have an elite and then take two guys super late. Like last year, I did Kittle, Ferg, and Likely late. Laporta is a little more expensive to be doing it with, but it's fine. And both those guys are like serious upshot, like ceiling tight end swings, so it's pretty cool. And the running back room is like really interesting. Only going 5 and getting like 5 good starters in this kind of new pocket we have, this running back pocket, and just being like, that's it, I'm done. He's got the 2 week 5 buys. He doesn't care. Like, right? He's like, fuck it, I'm riding with my boys. Yeah. And he grabbed a bunch of receivers. It's a good team, man. Again, this is a team like a lot of sharp guys are building. This room, every team we've looked at has been like very sharp.
I agree.
It's kind of got me thinking this is going to be a hard tournament to win this year. There's a lot of people drafting good teams, and I don't see too many dead rosters out here. This is a really fun team. I like what you did here. Hot take.
By Bengals saying A.T. Perry looking sexy. I mean, he got him at a good value too, man. He got him at a
and like I like mixing in Juwan, like taking a chance and just building the whole stack, right? Like you're only going two quarterbacks who are like not that good or whatever, right? So just take all their players and be like they're gonna have a ceiling season, like right.
Well, out of all the drafts I've seen you do, hot take, that's a great draft, and I think the way you were able to get good value at each position is you push the quarterback position and you still got great correlation. That's why it pays to get guys like Olave and Amon-Ra St. Brown in the first couple of rounds. And the fact that you got Laporta where you got him is also great. Good draft all around. Very, very good work. I like it a lot. All right, Updog, take me through your lineup. Then we'll finish off with my lineup. Or do we want to do my lineup then your lineup? Which one do you want? I got yours up.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Okay, let's go through your lineup. You go 2-6-10-2. Take me through it top to bottom, brother.
We wanted to start high T because we got the running back jersey on, so we started Bijan. I was gonna get a couple other early running backs, but we ended up getting Adams at a slight value, so I just clicked them. I think this is like a good team. This is what I'm building mostly. It's honestly similar to a lot of what other guys have built in the room tonight. Najee RB2 is like a bit weird. I don't take a lot of him, but that's why I kind of like it. We're just gonna make a stand on him, and I think the running backs like room's pretty good. Like not a lot of capital for a 6 running back build, and like they're all guys I like. I drafted a bunch of receivers that like are kind of like my guys, like Coleman and Christian Watson, Adams. So like,
so Coleman's officially your guy because of Adrian, right? Saying that like there was a tweet sent out.
I just like him because other people don't like him. That's basically all it is. That's really as deep as it is. It's just people just shit talk the guy. And I like his spot, and I think he's a good prospect. So I'm going to be overweight on him just because of that reason. And I took a bunch of rookies, man, a bunch of rookies that I like Jalen Polk, I think is live to be the wide receiver 1 in New England. Franklin, I got him stacked up with Bo Nix. That was kind of the plan because I didn't want May or Brissett on this team. I wanted like a sure bet for week 5, and I also had Jaleel, so I was like, I'll make the double stack. And then, Walker, Washington, Rice, just like 3 rookie shots, just like aiming for ceiling. I took enough punts at receiver rookie receiver that I'll find a couple of them, man. And if they hit, like this team could be really good. And then, a couple of good tight ends. Kincaid, who's my number 1 tight end. And then I got Goddard stacked for the double. So, it's a good team. This is like pretty much like a prototypical draft I'll do. I also don't have a lot of elite quarterbacks. Like I seem to just not have just perennially. I just don't have a lot of them because I'm always trying to push quarterbacks and get like better ADP value. So sometimes you just got to take a stand and get some of these elite guys because they can break fantasy, and you need to have, in my mind, I need to have at least like 5-6% or something reasonable.
I mean, like, I feel like whenever you draft, there's like an aura around your lineup when we look at it, like it glimmers.
It's all right.
It's a good lineup. It makes sense. I love the fact that you got Roshan at such a delicious value as your RB6.
I like the receiver room, man. It's like ultimate ceiling swing. It's cool.
Your tight end room, safe floor. I don't necessarily love the ceiling play, but also Dalton Kincaid, I could be very wrong about him. You got him at a pretty good value as well. Jalen Hurts, yeah, it's good all across the board. Even your running backs, this is like the strongest running back room I've seen you draft since I've known you. Like, this is a very strong RB room. Trey Benson, he can hit.
I like them. I think Vidal's got some sneaky upside, man.
Yeah. McLaughlin, Roshan, this is strong. This is very strong. It's there's a reason why you're the best.
Nice. Like, it was nice getting Jaleel because I was looking for a bit of direction for my like QB2. So when Jaleel fell, I'm like, okay, we're gonna do Bo Nix. Yeah, I'm like, we're gonna get Franklin, and we're gonna do Bo Nix. So it was nice. It kind of gave me a bit of directionality, and it's a good team. Like a lot of the teams in here tonight, I think it's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a reason why like you're one of the best because you continue to get better. Let's see if I got any better. Okay, I go 3-6-8-3. Jaden Daniels, Aaron Rodgers, Will Levi at the quarterback position. Running back, we go Breece Hall, Kyren Williams, Chase Brown, Marshawn Lloyd, Jalen Wright, Miles Sanders. Wide receiver, we go Cooper Kupp, Terry McLaurin, Calvin Ridley, Curtis Samuel, Dontavian Wicks, Quentin Johnston, DJ Chark, and Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Tight end, we got Evan Ingram, Jake Ferguson, and Ben Sinnott.
It's good, man. Are you a DJ Chark guy? You're in on him this year?
I'm DJ Chark is the ultimate ceiling spike week freak every single year, and the fact that you can get him in the 20th round pretty much every single year.
I might have to be back in on him. He's definitely the guy I've liked in the past.
I love him,
and people like disrespect him because of like his advanced metrics are like bad or whatever. I forget what it is like separation or yards per route run or whatever it is. People just clown on him, but I've always liked him since he was a young stud in Jacksonville, right? And then he just kind of had a rough go of it. But yeah, it's a strong team, man.
But he's due for like 2 or 3 spike weeks every year, right?
Yeah.
I like DJ Chark.
I think there's a lot of similarities between this Chargers team and like the Rams of last year, in that this offense could easily be like a good offense, and these pieces that we're drafting are so cheap and like so ambiguous. Like sure, we don't have a Cooper Kupp at the top of the board, but we have like an Akers in Gus Edwards. We have a Vidal. We have a second running back who could like take over and be good. We have all these receivers who have unknown upside, like with Rice and Palmer, and this team could, like, if you've seen their win totals, it's like 7.5 or something crazy. Like,
yeah,
they might just like be good. This offense might just be good. Like, it might not be like crazy run heavy. Everyone's like, they're gonna run the ball a million times. What if they're just good, right? What if they just score a lot of points?
I think it's very possible, right? And their game script is also going to be great for them as well, right? They're going to be playing a lot of games, surely from behind, because they got a very tough schedule coming up. And or they'll just be like right into the game. So that just means that there's going to be better options. So even if DJ Chark does what he's done every single year, the last 5 weeks of the season gives you 3 really good spike weeks, he could be the difference. I like DJ Chark as a dart throw. I really, really love DJ Chark as a dart throw. All right, it's duck race time. Thank you for sticking around for all that grading and giving advice to the community. I know I appreciate it. I know the community absolutely loves it. But it's duck race time. You guys know the rules. 69 seconds. Do we have before we post before we get started on the duck race, okay? Do we have everybody in here? It's not too late to put hashtag WhatsApp, okay? So I got JC, Jerry, Hot Take, AP, JH, Jason Calhoun, Playmakers, Wide Dad, Willie, Pat Joyce, Snowman 089, Ron Karras, Mossy, Two Fat Guys, Mike Burns, Bad Guys Official Chef, Tyler, Fantasy Fish. Are we missing anybody? Yeah, we got you right here, Fantasy Fish. You're in here. We got Two Fat Guys in here. Yep. AP's in here. Everybody's in here. James, are you in here? I don't see James's name. I'll add James's name. Everybody's quacking.
Got to get these tickets, guys. $500,000.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Pat, are you in? Yeah, Pat, we got you in here. Okay. Am I missing anybody? Okay, guys, 5 quacks starting now. Get your quack on. Say no to quack. All right.
I always like their little outfits here.
Yeah, we'll shuffle it 5 times here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's. Is this okay? No, that's not okay.
No,
let's not do that. No.
There we
Where
go.
did you go? Did the Matrix get you? Okay. This is the one. This has got to be the one. All right, we got the quacks. All right, guys. Would you do the on your marks, get set, go? It's up to you. But like, I need you to do it like the guy from what's the movie called? Kings of Queens. The guy from Kings and Queens did it at the NASCAR race. I need you to get these people to fire up their quacky engines. All right.
They're quacky engines. Well, I'm actually a bit of a racer. You know, in my past life, I was a ski racer, so I'm you know, we're kind of all about going fast. And if you think about it, Drafters is a big race. You know, we're all and there's 17 laps, and you know, you got to hit the gas, man. You got to hit the gas, and you got to get that fresh air in first place. So believe me, this is right up my alley.
All right,
Duckies, start your engines.
On your mark.
On your marks, get set, go.
I'm just waiting for the first. There it is.
Let's see the quacks. Right. There's some quacks in the chat.
Oh man, I love the quacks in the chat. Quack is not whack. That's for damn sure. James SEO is feeling mighty Christmassy right now.
He's got a reindeer dog.
I know, right? AP and Willie are both in that pink Gucci pattern. I like it. Jason Calhoun thinks it's COVID season. Hot take is a unicorn. I think it's very accurate. I like Jerry's character. Jerry's character looks kind of like Batman right there. And then
he is the stylish red.
I have a feeling Snowman 089 is going to pull it away, man. Dude, Snowman 089 is in prime position to just push.
JC wants it. Here we go.
There's JH. There's Snowman 089 with the push. Oh, no. There is
not again. Not again.
Single.
He's the best, man. He's number one.
Oh man. Oh man.
It
is fucking comical how this guy just always wins these. Like literally, we said, there's Snowman 089. He's probably gonna win it. Shocker, guys.
You know what the number one most important thing you need to win these tournaments? It's luck. so whatever Snowman has, channel some of that. That really is the most important thing in these crazy lottery tournaments. So you know,
crazy. Have
some fun, you know, buy some horseshoes or whatever, put some good karma out into the world.
He won like
really is what you need.
He won like 3 in a row last year. He won like 7 last year. He's already won 2 this year. Wow, better be lucky than good. Hopefully your luck shows up in your Ducks are still quacking. Hopefully your luck shows up in your best ball drafts, brother. You know what Snowman has going for him? He subscribes to the channel. He tunes in on a nightly basis. He's a great member of the community and a wonderful human being. And he drafts here on Drafters Fantasy Sports. And use promo code DISCO when you sign up on Drafters Fantasy Sports so we can double your initial deposit. James said something nice. He says, everyone, thanks for coming out to support our amazing, beautiful friend Disco. Have a wonderful weekend. He also said something nice to my wife. Yeah, man. Congratulations, Snowman. Thanks, James. Hope you have a great week. Exactly. Let's go, Ron. Yes, congratulations to Ron and Fantasy Dad. Both of them got into the Scott Fish, which is huge. Before I let you guys go, you guys need to stick around, okay? Up, Dog, what do you have in the works? Where can people find you? please tell the folks, how they can get access to more information, because every time you come here, it's an absolute blessing. And thank you so much on behalf of all of Disco Ball Nation, and obviously for me, for
You're
blessing
super
us.
kind. It's a lot of fun chatting drafters with you. Follow me on Twitter, Crypto though, THO. Like I said, hopefully I'm going to do some streams coming up here. Don't really have it, don't have any hard plans. I honestly just have so much drafting to do. It's going to be a bit overwhelming, but I don't mind kind of sharing that process with people, and just kind of have to spin up a channel and find some time to get it done. But as we kick off here into the prime time of fantasy football season, I anticipate I'll be doing some YouTube streams just for fun, just to hang out and talk shop. So and hopefully be back on here talking with you. Maybe we'll see. We'll see what the summer brings, man. There's only about 2 months left, and I'm gonna be like pedaled to the floor, trying to max these contests. And frankly, my number one priority is building good teams. So we're gonna worry about that, and if we can mix in some fun and some streams, I'm down to do that as well.
Well, you're always welcome here, brother. Who Hims? Sorry, brother, you missed the race, but it's a great show to watch back. A lot of great information, especially from our spectacular guest. You guys know the drill. We're going to leave you with the outro, then say bye after that. But before we do that, because I know a lot of you are going to trickle out, make sure you go over to the Sports Affiliation, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and put Disco Raid in their live stream. They're going live at 10 p.m. Eastern time, so just over an hour's time, and they'll be doing some more drafters content. So here's the outro, and then we'll say bye in a sec. All right, folks, our 20-day giveaway is very close to being done. We got next Monday and next Tuesday, and then we'll see what I want to fork out after that. But it's been a absolute blessing growing with you guys and growing this incredible community. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful weekend. Updog, anything you want to say to the community before we dip out?
That's it. See you, everybody.
Keep drafting, folks. #ABD. Always be drafting. Let's fucking go.